Hi, I'm Mark Richard Adams, post-production professional. Thanks for joining me today on Colour Me In for another post-production demonstration. So, Avid, Autosave or Attic. Where do we find the autosaves? How do we bring those files back in after maybe an error has been made in a project, a sequence has been deleted? Let's find out. Here we are back in Avid. So we've got one bin here. Firstly, what we want to do is just set up an autosave just to make sure it's working properly. And the way that we do that is we go to Avid Media Composer on a Mac, we go to Preferences, and if you roll through these, go to the user, you'll see that there is a bin option in settings. If you double click that, we will see that we've got some autosave intervals. So it's going to save a bin every 2 minutes, which is pretty fast, but if you're working heavily, that might be okay. I'd probably recommend putting that to 10. We've got an inactivity period here of 15 seconds. We've got a force autosave at 17 minutes. So it's going to force it regardless. Say if you're in a busy edit, after 17 minutes, it'll force the autosave to happen even if you're working. And we've got a maximum number of files that are going to live in the attic here. Okay. So we now know where the autosave parameters are, but where are the autosaves themselves and where's the attic? Let's have a look. Now I'm on a Mac. I'll leave on screen a graphic for the root directory for the Mac and the PC. Now, on a Mac, if you go to Find a Level, go, Computer, Users Shared, inside Shared you're going to see the Avid Media Composer with no spaces in, go inside that one. Inside there you're going to see the Avid Attic, there it is there. So if I go inside that, we're going to see loads and loads of different projects that have been made on the system. But this is the one that I want, so I step in there and you can see here we have my bin and the multiple bins that have been saved off the back of it. So the last autosave was yesterday at 18 minutes past 4. Okay, let's say that we want to go back to another day and we want to go back to maybe this point 4. Now the way that I go around this is I'd never want to mess around with the autosave. It's really important to keep all the autosaves in that bin. Don't ever take them out. Don't do that. I'd recommend you just copy. But before we carry on, is there any chance you could give me a like or subscribe? I'd really appreciate it. Really helps me get this video out through the YouTube algorithm to as many people as possible. Thank you. So now I've copied that bin from the Avid Attic. I want to bring that into my project that I'm working on now. Here's the project and there is the Avid bin, okay? Now let's just paste that in. The new Avid Attic autosave has been placed into the project, but it doesn't look like a bin and we need to change that. So if I click on this one here, and I'm just gonna put .avb on the end, and this message will come up. It says use AVB, that's fine. Now it's defined, we know one of them is the original, one of them is number 4 from the Avid Attic. Close that down. You'll notice in the Avid project nothing's really happened, but if I hit save, you'll notice that there's the bin. Now, Avid won't open this bin because it thinks it's the original. So I'll just show you. So if I try to open that bin, it'll do that. That's fine. What I need to do first is close this bin down, open the new one up. And there you go. There's your access to the previous bin. So what I'd recommend you do is to get the clip or get the sequence that you're missing, move that out into another fresh bin, and then what you can do is delete this autosave bin because you don't need it. And also it's non-destructive because you have the original autosave.4 in the Avid Attic. So Avid Attic's always been good, it's always been powerful. It's just a question of finding the parameters of how to set it up and also where to find the attic. Once you know those two things, you're good to go.